And now for our next guest, local author, Jerry Dorsman. Jerry, welcome to
Thank you,
Cecil.tv, Cecil Weekly.
Thank you.
You have 3 books you're going to tell us about, but tell us, obviously these books have a mental health addiction focus.
Right.
I've checked them out. How did you get into all this, writing books? And you had a parallel career as well, correct?
Well, I had a career that dovetailed with actually writing these books, since I worked as an addiction counselor and a mental health counselor for Upper Bay Counseling and Support Services right here in Cecil County for 30 years, and I just retired this year. But I did these books. I actually finished the first one when I first started with Upper Bay Counseling, and that one is called How to Quit Drinking Without AA. And as soon as they learned that I had done that book for the public, and it's been in bookstores ever since, Upper Bay asked me to start doing addiction treatment groups, and I've been doing addiction treatment groups there for about 28 years.
And this is for the person who may not want to get involved in this 12-step program, or?
Exactly. Yeah, the 12 steps works for a significant percentage of people, but it doesn't work only for a percentage. And for those who find it doesn't work for them, this is a book that can really help. Now, there are tons of books that can help. There are actually other group programs that really help with addiction treatment that are non-AA based nowadays. I mean, there's Smart Recovery, there's Women for Sobriety, there's SOS, Secular Organizations for Sobriety. There's a bunch of different options, and they've been around for 30 years or so, a lot of them. So they're group programs. Mine's an individual treatment program. People can pick up the book. It's subtitled A Complete Self-Help Guide. And in fact, even though it's called How to Quit Drinking Without AA, I'd have a chapter on AA, and I said, give it a try. If it works,
Right.
use it.
Right, sure, anything that will work.
Anything that works, that's really the whole point. Find what works and use that. And so I detail all kinds of things that do work and are very successful in treating addictions in the book. And people pick and choose what particular techniques work for them and use those and put together their own program, basically.
Right. So also the drug issue, the opioid epidemic. You have a book on that too?
Yeah. So, well, the publisher asked me if I would do another book called How to Quit Drugs, and we came up with the title How to Quit Drugs for Good. After the addiction treatment book was doing so well, they asked me to do that, and so I said, okay. So I researched all the drugs, and of course I had some personal experience. I had to break my own addiction to alcohol and drugs as well, and I did that about 35 years ago. But anyway, so I had some personal experience for both. But when I came to doing this, then I had to really study all the particular drugs, because they have various types of withdrawal syndromes. You have to know how to deal with that withdrawal syndrome. Right. You have to know what techniques might work best for this type of addiction and other. So that was a little more complicated. That book has about 40 or 50 more pages than the alcohol book because of that, because I look at all the specific drugs of abuse in there.
And the template is the same, whatever works.
It's pretty much, yeah. It's the same basic program. It's another complete self-help guide, but with the variations required, the people would need to look at the drug piece in particular, yeah.
And the goal of recovery, both from alcohol and drugs, is your third book is entitled Peace of Mind.
Well, that's an interesting segue to that. Yeah, that book came, one of my friends, Bob Davis, is a yoga instructor, and I was taking a lot of yoga when I broke my own addictions. And he and I were talking about it and said, hey, why don't we do a book with a whole spectrum of techniques for stress management that might help people in recovery, but might just be able to be used as a standalone. So this book, in fact, is a standalone book called How to Achieve Peace of Mind.
I'm just looking at the cover. I'm getting peace of mind just looking at it.
And that's just been republished, because the original publisher of one of my first book wanted to pick this up, okay? But then this has been recently picked up again by another publisher, and brought out, this is a new cover for it, in other words.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Again, now
Pretty cool.
share with our viewers how they can get these books.
Well, these books are available in bookstores or also online in any of the online purchase places for books like Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. All those have all my books there.
Great.
In fact, I was just up at the Barnes and Noble. These are still in the brick and mortar stores as well, and I saw they didn't have all three, but they had 2 out of 3.
That's great.
Up in Christiana Mall. But yeah, those are available. The How to Quit Drinking Without AA was a big success. Actually, it was called a recovery bestseller.
Awesome.
And right now there's like over 125,000 copies in print.
Nice.
It came out in '91 and it's still going, published by Random House. So.
Well, we're looking forward to the next book, Jerry.
I'll have to work on one. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
All right, yeah.